Did you ever wonder how close World War III is? Well, the first military encounters are here, and today we will dive into the most recent one. On a seemingly ordinary day, the 24th of October 2023, the world held its breath as a Chinese fighter jet and an American B-52 bomber nearly collided over the South China Sea. The Chinese jet came within a mere 10 feet of the American bomber, creating a tense and potentially explosive situation. The US military expressed its concern, suggesting that the Chinese pilot might have been unaware of the imminent danger. In contrast, China's foreign ministry laid the blame squarely on the US, arguing that the American aircraft was deliberately flying over the South China Sea, a provocative act in their view. The American response was that the B-52 was lawfully conducting routine operations. However, no further details were provided, leaving room for speculation and heightening the sense of unease. This encounter underscores China's increasing assertiveness in claiming the South China Sea, a contentious issue that has led to territorial disputes with other countries in the region. The US and its allies, on the other hand, regularly conduct maritime maneuvers and fly aircraft in the region to assert international rights. Aerial intercepts are not uncommon, but this incident was exceptionally close, and it could have escalated tensions between these two global powers, the US and China, the main participants in this high-stakes chess game. Both countries have firmly stated that they will continue their respective activities in the region, which means encounters like this might become more frequent. This growing tension between these two powerhouses is symbolizing the proximity of World War III. This encounter has certainly set the stage for higher stakes in the South China Sea. What do you think this encounter means? Share your thoughts in the comments below. So, why is this encounter a big sign for World War III? Let's dig deeper. Imagine a vast body of water, the South China Sea, where waves of territorial disputes surge and ebb. It's a region fraught with tension, a chessboard for geopolitical power plays. At its center, China, increasingly assertive, claiming ownership with a boldness that's hard to ignore. China's stance has not been without controversy. Other countries in the region are caught in the crosshairs of these territorial disputes, their own claims often clashing with China's. The waters of the South China Sea, rich in resources and a vital conduit for global trade, have become a flashpoint for conflict. Now enter the United States. The US doesn't stand idly by, instead it asserts international rights, conducting routine maritime maneuvers and aircraft operations in the area. These actions are not just about flexing military muscle, they're a statement, a declaration that these waters are not solely China's domain. This brings us back to the encounter. An American B-52 bomber lawfully conducting routine operations, and a Chinese fighter jet coming perilously close in the vast expanse of the South China Sea. A near collision that could have escalated tensions between the two superpowers. Aerial intercepts are common, yes, but this incident? This was particularly close, particularly dangerous. And here's the rub. Both the US and China have not backed down. They've stated, unequivocally, that they will continue their respective activities in the region. A promise, it seems, of more encounters to come. With both countries stating they will continue their activities in the region, it seems the stage is set for more encounters of this nature. Now that we understand the implications of this encounter, who exactly are the main players in this potential World War III scenario? In this high-stakes chess game, the United States and China are the principal players, each with their distinct roles and strategies. Let's begin with the United States. As a global superpower, the US has been a staunch defender of international rights and freedoms. It's not uncommon for the US to conduct maritime maneuvers and fly aircraft in contested areas to assert these rights. This recent incident over the South China Sea, where an American B-52 bomber came perilously close to a Chinese fighter jet, was part of such routine operations. However, these activities are not just about flexing military muscle. They are a message, a signal to assertive powers that the US stands ready to protect the rights and freedoms it believes in. It's a complex dance of power, diplomacy, and deterrence. Now let's turn to China. Over the last few years, China has been increasingly assertive in its territorial claims, particularly in the South China Sea. This assertiveness has led to territorial disputes with several countries in the region. China's actions are perceived as an attempt to reshape the geopolitical landscape in its favor. The near collision of the American bomber and the Chinese fighter jet was not a simple misunderstanding, but a manifestation of China's assertiveness. China blamed the US for the provocation, stating that the American aircraft was flying in the area deliberately. This incident, while alarming, is symptomatic of the broader tensions between these two powers. So the US, the asserter of international rights, and China, the assertive territorial claimant, are the main players in this potential scenario. Their actions and interactions could shape the future of global peace and security. As we can see, the US and China are the main players in this potential scenario. But what does this mean for the rest of the world? We've talked about the US and China, but what does this potential World War III scenario mean for the rest of the world? The implications are profound and far-reaching. This isn't a mere squabble between two nations, it's a potential seismic shift in global power dynamics. A conflict of this magnitude could destabilize international relations, forcing countries to pick sides and altering alliances. Imagine a world where nations are compelled to choose between the US and China, two of the world's most powerful economies. This is not a decision to be taken lightly. It's a choice that could redefine a nation's future, its economy, its very identity. Speaking of economies, the economic implications are staggering. Global trade as we know it could be upended. The world's supply chains, already strained by the ongoing pandemic, could be further disrupted, leading to shortages, inflation, and potentially a global recession. Investments could plummet, jobs could be lost, and economies could crumble. And let's not forget about the potential human cost. In a world already grappling with numerous challenges, climate change, poverty, inequality, a third world war could exacerbate these issues, leading to a humanitarian crisis of an unprecedented scale. Moreover, the environmental impact could be devastating. Modern warfare is not just destructive to human life, but also to our planet. The environmental degradation caused by a global conflict could significantly accelerate the effects of climate change, posing an existential crisis for all life on Earth. But it's not all doom and gloom. This potential conflict also presents an opportunity for dialogue, for diplomacy, for peace. It's a chance for nations to come together, to find common ground, to resolve their differences peacefully. Remember, the future is not set in stone. The actions we take today, the choices we make, can shape the world of tomorrow. As we stand on the brink of potential conflict, let's choose peace, let's choose dialogue, let's choose a future where disputes are resolved, not with weapons but with words. The potential for World War III is a global concern affecting everyone on the planet. Let's hope for peaceful resolutions. We've covered a lot of ground today, and now we want to hear from you. We've delved into the chilling proximity of World War III, the implications of the recent military encounter, and the roles of the US and China in this unfolding global drama. It's a lot to take in, right? Now we encourage you to take a moment and ponder. Think about the recent near collision between a Chinese fighter jet and an American B-52 bomber over the South China Sea. How does it make you feel? What are your thoughts about this incident? Does it feel like a wake-up call, a signal of escalating tensions, or just another day in international politics? And what about the potential for World War III? It's a terrifying thought, but it's a reality we must face and discuss. Do you think we're on the brink of a global conflict? Or perhaps you believe there are still pathways to peace that we can explore and pursue? Also, consider the roles of the US and China. These two nations, each a superpower in its own right, are at the forefront of this unfolding narrative. How do you perceive their actions and motivations? Are they acting out of concern for global security, or are they driven by their own strategic interests? Remember, there's no right or wrong answer here. We're fostering a conversation, a dialogue, a chance to engage and learn from each other. Your voice matters, your perspective is unique, and your thoughts could enlighten someone else, so don't hold back. Share your thoughts, your insights, your fears, and your hopes. Start a conversation, join a discussion, or even spark a debate. Let's make this a space for meaningful interaction where we can all learn, grow, and navigate these complex issues together. Remember, your input is valuable, so don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.